The rising stars of tomorrow will be on display today as the nation's elite high school football programs collide in Charlotte.
Welcome to the Powerade 7-on-7 Invitational! Woo!
Well, the skyline of downtown Charlotte provides our beautiful backdrop for the 5th annual Powerade 7-on-7 Invitational. We've had wonderful weather all weekend for this event that features some of the nation's top high school programs here at the Mecklenburg County Sportsplex. We're just east of the Queen City, out in Matthews, here for this event. And we welcome you to our coverage of the Powerade 7-on-7 Invitational. Great to be with the Mid-Atlantic recruiting analyst for Rivals.com, Adam Friedman. Wes Durham, thanks so much for joining us. This event, now in year 5, just gets bigger and better every year, Adam.
Almost 40 teams from 17 different states, a ton of college prospects, a lot of guys who are going to be playing at the next level, made a ton of really big plays out here. For all day Friday and into Saturday, the tournament was really special.
Well, and we had some great ball games, as you'll see in our coverage here today. But we do have the top 7 of this event presented by 7-Eleven. We'll start with the 5-star wide receiver from Atlanta.
Jaden Hazelwood, a Georgia commit, one of the best receivers in the country. You can see here, great hands. All he needs is that right hand. He made some incredible catches, does a great job separating from defensive backs. Big guys like that should not be able to come out of their breaks like this. He creates so much separation, makes it really easy for his quarterbacks. The Dogs should be really excited about this one.
Well, if you got a big wide receiver, you need good corners. Woody Washington fits that bill.
Woody Washington committed to Oklahoma, and the Big 12 needs to watch out for this guy. He can play wide receiver. He made some really good touchdown catches, some really good two-point conversions, but he's a cornerback. He's a big, strong kid. He's going to be able to handle those Big 12 receivers, and he's not afraid to go up and really compete for that ball.
Tall, rangy defensive back from the Tidewater area is Sheridan Jones.
Jones committed to Clemson early on, number 119 in the Rivals 250. This kid has developed from a young age those instincts, that anticipation. He is such a natural athlete and a very strong and aggressive cornerback. He's not afraid to take on those big receivers, but he didn't have a lot of balls thrown to him because he was blanketing those receivers all day.
And one of the better athletes here at the Powerade 7-on-7 was Kevion Mullins.
Kevion Mullins committed to South Carolina, another Rivals 250 prospect. Big, strong, fast receiver who looks like he could be in college right now. Excellent length, ran really good routes, and caught some key touchdown passes in the back of the end zone for his quarterbacks.
Well, and a guy who's going to be in the ACC, it looks like, is Nolan Gruel. He's committed to Wake Forest, right?
Yeah, the 4-star receiver from the Charlotte area did a great job separating from cornerbacks. You're not going to find a receiver that's able to create so much separation and make it easy for his quarterbacks. He did the same thing at the Rivals 100 5-star challenge presented by Adidas, and look at him make these catches for his quarterbacks, finding those holes, making it easy for them again to find him.
And a guy who's also going to be a big-time wide receiver at the next level is Isaiah Hazel.
Hazel from Wise High School in Maryland, another Rivals 250 receiver, big, strong player, does a great job using his hands to pull in that ball. He doesn't use his body at all. He has no problem breaking press coverage and really blowing past those cornerbacks.
And a name you need to know in the future is an athlete from the Nashville area, and that's the legacy, Reggie Grimes, huh?
Grimes is a big-time prospect, already in the Rivals 250 for the 2020 class. That's the rising junior class, an Alabama legacy. He's a really intimidating prospect. He's the guy you want coming off the bus first. He's going to strike fear into the opposing team. He played some tight end, but look at him go at the next level. He's going to be special.
Coming up, we'll show you all the highlights of the quarterfinals as the 2018 Powerade 7-on-7 Invitational continues.
Vitamin B12, B6, and B3. If I had had that back in my day, the other team would have needed vitamin. Be careful. Man, that's some kind of power.
When your workout ends, ours begins. Recover better with Core Power. Fueled by Fairlife's one-of-a-kind protein.
This is the sound of breakfast coming together after the night shift. And this is the sound of a paycheck going further than you ever thought it could. At Food Lion, we hear the sounds of your hard work. And they inspire us to guarantee fresh food or double your money back. Because we believe in fresh, affordable food for everyone. Food Lion, how refreshing.
Powerade. Man, if I had had that kind of power back in my day, I'd have been so unstoppable. They'd have made a movie about me. Would have had everything. Action, suspense, and the greatest ending of all time. I love that movie.
Powerade 7-on-7 athletes and Food Lion employees volunteered their services this week at the Second Harvest Food Bank in Charlotte. Players and coaches worked together to fill backpacks of food donated by Food Lion. Food Lion is a proud supporter of the Second Harvest Food Bank and is committed to focusing on hunger relief through their Food Lion Feeds platform. To find out how you too can make a difference, visit secondharvestmetrolina.org. And we welcome you back to the Powerade 7-on-7 Invitational with Adam Friedman, West Durham. And before we get to some of these quarterfinal highlights in the Elite Eight, Adam, let's remind folks of the rules, first of all, of 7-on-7. It speaks to fast-paced football, doesn't it? It
certainly does. We're going to see a lot of teams out there putting up some big numbers and really going at a fast pace.
25-second play clock all the way. Every possession starts at the 40. Just one hand required to stop the play with the tackle, if you will. Quarterbacks only have 4 seconds to release the ball. No rushing of the quarterback, and only 1 first down per series. And a quick check of the scoring, and that's fast as well. 6 for the touchdown, 3 for the interception, 2 for a defensive stop. And then coaches have to make the decision on the extra point. Do you go for 1 point from the 5 or 2 points from the 10? And now to the bracket for the Elite Eight, and we'll start with a battle of the Commonwealth of Virginia. Phoebus and Highland Springs, and the Springers really one of the favorites here.
They really were. They had a ton of big-time athletes out there, long, rangy defensive backs.
And you see Phoebus gets to work early. Chris Daniels a touchdown. And back comes young Walker and the Springers of Highland Springs. And this ball game went back and forth, Adam.
It really did. It came down to the wire, and you'll see here coming up a big touchdown to kind of break it open a bit. Phoebus, long touchdown, a little bit of showmanship at the end here, and they come out with the win.
40-yard score, and then it is secured when Highland Springs couldn't hang on to one in the middle of the field. So Phoebus rolls on 21-18. That puts them in the semifinals as they upset Highland Springs in the quarterfinals of the Powerade 7-on-7. And now Bryant is also involved in this. They're from Arkansas, and they face Woodrow Wilson, the Tigers of New Jersey, in one of our quarterfinals.
A lot of big-time athletes for the Woodrow Wilson team, and this Arkansas team did not, they weren't necessarily ready for these athletes.
You get a look at Fidel Diggs, one of the top prospects, and of course Stanley King.
Stanley King had a monster day, used that range to catch a bunch of touchdowns, and Simmons, the wide receiver, caught the 2-point conversion, and then another, it comes right back with an interception.
And Woodrow Wilson really dominated this quarterfinal, Adam.
They did. It was from start to finish. They did a great job, 30-8 over Bryant.
So Woodrow Wilson moves into the semifinals. The Tigers from New Jersey, who won 9 ball games a year ago for Coach Preston Brown. So you've got Phoebus and Woodrow Wilson on one side of the bracket, and now we go to the other side. And the first stop there is Butler from here in Matthews, the Bulldogs against Havelock. So a battle of North Carolina in this quarterfinal.
Anthony Harris, a safety committed to Tennessee, playing quarterback, chucks it for a long touchdown, good catch and run there for Havelock.
And back comes Butler.
Butler not going away. You got Keon Lassane for the big touchdown there, tying it up.
Keon Lassane going to NC State, and then you get an interception as well, and Butler is on the way. They come from behind and ultimately beat Havelock 27-22. And, of course, that puts the Bulldogs into the semifinals. And here's another look. Christian Peters throws to the end zone, and that is Jaden Clark adding the score.
Really shows off his strong arm there. Clark sealing the win. You can see how happy Butler is to be moving on. They're going to get a big-time matchup, though, in the next round.
And then we go to South Carolina to determine the last semifinalist, and that's Berkeley from Moncks Corner against South Point from Rock Hill.
Got a big-time quarterback battle here. Expect a lot of big scoring. We see it pretty early right here from Berkeley.
And Berkeley gets on the board early. Solomon Butler, the touchdown catch there. And then all of a sudden, Talik Steele goes to work for South Point.
Yeah, he wasn't messing around. He knew exactly where he was going with the ball and made sure that they got in the end zone.
Isaac Ross, the touchdown catch. South Point gets on the comeback trail. And you see the interception. That's Jalen Mahoney, Adam.
Committed to Wake Forest, an outstanding interception there. You can see the athleticism headed to Winston-Salem there.
And the Mahoney interception then helped set up South Point's winning score. And it's another touchdown throw to Isaac Ross.
Showing off that arm strength again. Isaac Ross, no problem taking the top off the defense. 27-3 over Berkeley.
And that put the Stallions in the semifinals. Coming up, a look back at the thrilling skills challenge as the 2018 Powerade 7-on-7 Invitational continues. One thing we know about the Powerade 7-on-7 athletes, they love to eat. And a visit to North Carolina always brings the opportunity to enjoy some authentic, slow-smoked barbecue. The folks from Midwood Smokehouse rolled out the red carpet and treated players to delicious North Carolina chopped pork and award-winning mac and cheese. A special thank you to Midwood for their commitment to supporting local communities throughout the Carolinas. And we welcome you back to the 2018 Powerade 7-on-7 Invitational, presented in part for you by 7-Eleven. Back with the Mid-Atlantic recruiting analyst for Rivals.com, Adam Friedman. I'm Wes Derman. Our coverage continues, and really on Thursday is when the schedule of events began here at the Metro Sportsplex, and that was the unique skills challenge that's a part of this event.
That's right. You said it's the unique part of this challenge. The players had a chance to show off their skills. The parents and the coaches on the field creating a great atmosphere. A lot of hyped players out there showing off why they're big-time college prospects.
Well, in 7-on-7 Powerade athletes this year, it all began with the hands challenge, and John Spinks of Meridian, Mississippi was the top ball catcher.
You can see this ball flying at him 60 miles an hour. He made some great catches, 2 hands, 1 hand. It didn't matter. He blew away the competition and really showed off why some colleges are looking at him for the next level.
Well, and you get an entire array of angles to look at Spinks making grabs in the hands challenge, in which he was crowned the winner. So from the hands challenge and John Spinks of Meridian, Mississippi, moved on to the QB challenge. Trevon Ford, Tucker Tigers, and Tucker Melton from Central High School in Phoenix City, Alabama.
You can see Melton here showing off his really good accuracy. He's got good mechanics and really good arm strength. You'll see here at the end, he's got the arm strength to throw it all the way down the field. Accuracy, throws it right in that little bucket there.
So Tucker Melton, a winner for Central High School out of Phoenix City, Alabama. And that brought us on to the 40-yard dash. And this was the highlight of the skills challenge. And here are the participants. You see the 7 guys competing to be the fastest man at the Powerade 7-on-7.
And it really wasn't even that close. All these guys are really fast, but Chisholm, the Eastern Carolina commit, blew away the competition. You can see him here in the red hat take off.
And DJ Chisholm, Moncks Corner in Berkeley High School, was the winner of the 40-yard dash.
I am out here with field consultant for 7-Eleven, Rich Nozell, and zone merchandiser of 7-Eleven, Brandon Bailey, here to present our 7-on-7 Powerade Skills Competition champions. Gentlemen, congratulations. Raise them up.
Stormy, thanks very much. And also one of the highlights on Thursdays, all the participants here at the Powerade 7-on-7 Invitational got to spend some time with one of the great philanthropists and also one of the most talented guys in the National Football League. And that's the Carolina Panthers tight end, Greg Olsen. And he's right by now with Stormy Bonantoni.
Thanks, Wes. Greg, you have become quite the staple of the Powerade 7-on-7 Invitational. It's your 3rd year here now. Tell us about your involvement and connection to the tournament.
It's been great. Like you said, to be here 3 years and just see how this event has grown, to see where it started 2 years ago and now see, they said earlier there's teams from 17 states. I mean, that travel in here to Charlotte to play in this event. And it's really a testament to the event that they put on. The folks at Powerade and Coca-Cola Consolidated, the resources and the platform they've given these kids, these high school kids, to come out here and represent their schools and compete against some of the top talent, not only in our area, but throughout the country is an awesome opportunity for these kids and one that you see them taking advantage of.
And you'll have time to actually get out there with some of the receivers today. What's the most important thing that you're hoping to share with them during that session later?
Yeah, I just think, just share my love of the game, share how much I enjoy talking the game and giving little pointers. You might not have time to make a huge impact, but just sometimes you can leave them with little nuggets that really stick and they can really relate to, and they carry that on with them, not only through this weekend of the tournament, but into their football seasons in the fall, and maybe can make a slightest impact on their success. So it's always great to get out there and get hands-on with the kids and kind of see what they have to offer. Just from walking around and seeing some of these kids, they got some incredible, talented players here. And look forward to seeing them play. And you can just hear in the way that you talk about football how important it is to you. But something off the field that's very important to you that you're very passionate about is, of course, the Hardest Yard Foundation. It's made such an impact around the Carolinas. But there's been a lot of news this year. So what can you share with us a little bit about what's going on? It's been very exciting. The Charlotte community has embraced my family and our story both on and off the field, over the last 7-8 years that we've lived here. And, to be able to have a platform to give back and service such an incredible community, and more specifically service Levine Children's Hospital, which provided such amazing world-class care for our son when he needed it the most. And to be able to pay that forward and provide them resources and funds and a platform to share that message has been something my wife Kara and I are very passionate about, and something that we've really enjoyed being able to kind of share that message with, again, not only our community, but throughout the country. So many families are so grateful for the work that you guys do. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a great season, Greg. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Back to you, Wes.
Coming up, we'll show you all the highlights of the semifinals as the 2018 Powerade 7-on-7 Invitational rolls on from Charlotte.
Powerade. Man, if I had had that kind of power back in my day, I'd have been so unstoppable. They'd have made a movie about me. Would have had everything. Action, suspense, and the greatest ending of all time. I love that movie.
This is the sound of breakfast coming together after the night shift. And this is the sound of a paycheck going further than you ever thought it could. At Food Lion, we hear the sounds of your hard work. And they inspire us to guarantee fresh food or double your money back. Because we believe in fresh, affordable food for everyone. Food Lion, how refreshing.
Welcome back to the 2018 Powerade 7-on-7 Invitational, presented in part by BSN Sports. And back with Adam Friedman, West Durham. We welcome you back to our coverage, and we're getting ready for the semifinals. And boy, this was interesting because Phoebus had upset Highland Springs, who was considered one of the favorites. And now we get a look at Woodrow Wilson as well, who handled Bryant easily.
They really did. You could see in that game they used their size to their advantage. Stanley King, Fadil Diggs, Naeem Simmons, all those guys were fast and big, and Cargman, the quarterback, really put the ball on the money. Hopefully the other team will be able to slow them down a little bit.
Well, we'll get a look at the highlights as we go to semifinal number 1, and the Tigers of Woodrow Wilson won the toss and went right to work. And Preston Brown's team, again, just as they did in the quarters against Bryant, dialed up Fadil Diggs.
Fadil Diggs taking it right over the middle from Cargman, the quarterback, right on the money, and really got off to a great start there.
And then, of course, they went to Stanley King for the extra point here.
using that length in the back of the end zone. Looping ability made it really tough.
And then here's Diggs defensively, Adam.
Yeah, he plays on both sides of the ball, getting recruiting as a defensive end and a tight end, a special player.
And here's Cardman one more time, and Stanley King, a great catch.
Again, that length makes it so hard for defensive backs to get a hand on the ball.
And then here's the extra point. Stepping out of bounds goes King, and all of a sudden, it's just a pretty easy route. Now, Phoebus does get on the board here. Latrell Smith makes a great catch from Chris Daniels.
Yeah, a great pass and a great catch, staying in bounds there, but it doesn't look like it was enough. Fadil Diggs with another big catch and putting Woodrow Wilson up big time.
And 35-14 is going to be the final as Woodrow Wilson, the Tigers from Camden, New Jersey, roll on into the finals. And that took us to the second semifinal. And really, the Stallions of South Point have been impressive, but Butler is probably Cinderella at this event, huh?
Yeah, they've got some big-time players, but they didn't have as much talent as some of the other teams. Look for Keon Lassane, the NC State commit, to make some big plays, and hopefully the other team can try and keep up.
Well, Coach Hales has got to be proud of his team and the effort that they put forth in this event, but South Point won the toss. Straight Heron's team is outstanding in this Palmetto State, and they went right to work with Talik Steele.
Talik Steele on the money early, making really good decisions and getting those easy scores.
That's Maurice Whitlock on the receiving end. Here's Coach Brian Hales and the Butler Bulldogs from here in Matthews, North Carolina. And Christian Peters throws to Keon Lassane.
Peters was a big-time hero for them throughout the tournament, but Lassane was the major engine that made them go.
And then in a tie ball game, here comes Steele back again, and this time it's Isaac Ross.
Man, what a perfect pass, and Ross showing that athletic ability, keeping his feet in bounds and holding onto the ball as he fell down.
And you're going to see the throw here. They'll go inside for the two-point play, or the one-point play in this particular case. Now, here's where the defensive efforts of these teams come into play, because these are points awarded for their schools as well.
Certainly are. They were made big impacts throughout the tournament, and in this game in particular, you could see these stops really were the turning point.
Well, and that sets up Peters down the middle, and here is Jamal Worthy, the running back.
Worthy, certainly an underrated recruit. Not many schools looking at him, but a big-time player who can make a lot of plays in the passing game.
And then how is the game determined? Darius Law, a breakup. That makes it 16-15 in favor of Butler. And then Josh Bailey secures the win on a fourth down catch to run the clock out.
Yeah, that was major playmaking abilities there and smart decision-making by the quarterback.
Butler moves on to the finals. Coming up, it's a championship game between New Jersey and North Carolina as we crown this year's champion of the Powerade 7-on-7 Invitational.
Iron for advanced electrolyte system. If I'd have had that back in my day, I'd have taken everybody to school. They'd have had a PhD in getting that tail whooped. Man, that's some kind of power.
When your workout ends, ours begins. Recover better with Core Power. Fueled by Fairlife's one-of-a-kind protein.
This is the sound of breakfast coming together after the night shift. And this is the sound of a paycheck going further than you ever thought it could. At Food Lion, we hear the sounds of your hard work. And they inspire us to guarantee fresh food or double your money back. Because we believe in fresh, affordable food for everyone. Food Lion, how refreshing.
Welcome back to the 2018 Powerade 7-on-7 Invitational, presented to you in part by Food Lion. And back with Adam Friedman of Rivals.com. West Durham, we get ready for the title game now. North Carolina versus New Jersey, the Butler Bulldogs from here in Matthews, and Camden's Woodrow Wilson High School.
Yeah, both teams have great playmakers on the outside, but I'd keep an eye on the quarterbacks. Nick Cargman for Woodrow Wilson and Christian Peters for Butler. Both of them have to make really good decisions for their team to have success today.
And a quick check of the rules as we bring you back to the Powerade 7-on-7 Invitational. 40-yard playing field with the 10-yard end zone. The 22-minute game clock is on the run until the final minute, of course, where it stops on incomplete passes. 25-second play clock in effect, begins on the ref's whistle after the ball is spotted. Every possession will start at the 40, and play, of course, will stop with one hand touch below the neck. The quarterback has 4 seconds to release the ball, or it's blown dead and loss of down. You can't rush the quarterback, and only 1 first down per series is possible. The scoring, half dozen points for a touchdown, 3 for a defensive interception, 2 for a stop or turnover on downs. And then coaches have a choice. 5 yards will get you 1 extra point. 10 yards will get you 2. Let's go to the coin toss for our championship game, and the referee today is Lou Satryan.
Okay, go ahead. Gentlemen, shake hands. Congratulations on getting to the championship of the Powerade tournament. All right, you were going to call the toss. So what would you like, heads or tails?
Heads.
Heads is called. Heads is called, and we have a zebra head. So you want the ball first, correct? You have the ball first. You'll be on defense. Good luck, gentlemen.
Good luck.
So Woodrow Wilson, who got here with the 35-14 victory over Phoebus, Adam, and Nick Cartman with his threats in the perimeter get the football first here.
Sure. Stanley King is definitely a guy you need to keep an eye on, as well as Fadil Diggs. Diggs only going to be a junior this fall, a massive target. Stanley King almost as tall. Both of those guys lit it up all tournament. I expect them to have a big game here.
All right, so Cartman and the Tigers, of course, who went 9-4 a year ago last fall in the Division III in the south of Jersey for Coach Preston Brown. They'll get the football first. Clock will start on the first snap. See, even in the steamy Charlotte heat, Coach Brown's got the hoodie on.
Yeah, he's always got the hoodie on. That's his trademark. Every camp he's at, you can always find him with his trademark hoodie, always with the sleeves so he can show off his big guns.
Now remember, in the semis, Cartman went right to Diggs on the very first snap for Woodrow Wilson. And this is a shot for King.
Just a little too long there, out over that long outstretched arm there.
So Nick Cartman, good-looking poise in the pocket shown throughout this tournament so far.
Absolutely. He's been making some really good decisions. Not a whole lot of mistakes. I think he'd rather take sacks than throw interceptions. And, you know, I would expect him to move those chains here on this next play.
Woodrow Wilson is in the black jerseys, and the Butler Bulldogs from here in Matthews, North Carolina, are in the white. Second down. That's Diggs, and couldn't hang on. Very quickly now, third down.
That was a big collision there. And they stop play. Yeah. Looks like Corey Hunter took the brunt of that for Butler. He's being helped off right now. Here's another angle. Yeah, you can see him right there on the knee. He took a big hit.
So Corey Hunter comes off the field for Coach Brian Hales. And here's third down now for Woodrow Wilson. And the catch made, and that is Naeem Simmons.
Simmons was an underrated prospect coming into this tournament. He's really opened some eyes. Really good target for them out of the slot. He made some very big plays leading up to this championship game. Don't be surprised if he's targeted here on this next play too.
Here's Cartman now. And again working inside. And that's another catch. This one is Nazik Mura, who had a big catch in the semis for them as well.
Yeah, just below the shoulders. You got to touch him with at least one hand.
Like this.
You know, but they play a little bit physically out here, so don't be surprised if you see two-hand touches, guys falling to the ground like we saw on the previous play.
Here's Cargman. On the outside this time, Amari Clark.
Love the decision making by Cargman. He's getting the ball out of his hands really quickly now. They're really in motion, in rhythm, I should say. Look for them to come back to the other side, possibly on a rollout.
Take in the huddle with Coach Brown and Nick Cargman. So this is 3rd down now for Woodrow Wilson. And they've burned right at 3 minutes off this championship game clock. Looping for Diggs. Caught it, but out of bounds.
Really tried to take advantage of his height there. He got up there. And if there was another yard there in the end zone, he would have had that touchdown.
Or some kind of concentration by the big fella.
Yeah, he had that 1 foot right on the line there. That was close.
You know what you got?
Here we go, second and go, second and go.
Cargman digs again. Touchdown for Woodrow Wilson.
Use that big body to shield off that defender. We saw a lot of that leading up to this championship game. We're going to see it here on the replay. Gets that first step on the slant, and boom, right on the numbers from Cargman. Great throw, really good accuracy there. Really good timing with his big tight end. There's not a whole lot the defensive back could do there.
And Woodrow Wilson is going to go for 2 points here on the extra point.
Look at King in the slot here.
And beyond the reach, and a flag is thrown. Simmons was the intended receiver.
Maybe some early contact there, perhaps. But Simmons had a step. Oh. He got a little bit of his jersey and knocked him over there.
So Woodrow Wilson from New Jersey with the touchdown, and now
Diggs not in on this play. You see a lot of crossing routes.
Cargman looks here across the middle and off the hands of the intended receiver.
That was a tough one.
Yep. He was looking for, it looked like Jose Irene, who had a nice catch in the semis. And so it'll stay 6-0, and now the Butler High School Bulldogs from here in Matthews, North Carolina will take over first.
A lot of history with this program, but I'm expecting NC State can make Keon Lassane to have a big day on the outside. He's really that engine that makes this offense go.
Christian Peters is the quarterback. Where's jersey number 3 for Coach Brian Hales? Throws to the outside, and that's Navarro Rory making the first catch.
He's getting in rhythm here for the offense. Expect Coach Hales. He's got a great handle on this offense. These players do not miss a call. Look for them to really stay on point, keep this offense rolling.
Peters checks it all the way out to the far side. And that was Pasamunto, or Muntu, I should say, with the catch there.
Keeping him on schedule, not taking the sack, still getting the ball out of his hands. Peters knows this offense inside and out. Watch this deep route here for Butler along the sideline. Try and get that first down.
Back inside again, and this is Rory. Adam, when you watch these 7-on-7 events, do teams kind of mix and match the deep stuff with midfield and then out on the edges? I mean, they just try and throw to about 3 different areas, right?
Yeah, they try to really spread out this defense. You know, the middle of the field here you can see is wide open, so they're going to try and really get those slot receivers down the field while the outside receivers have some crossing routes.
That ball is caught and wide open for the score.
There it is, Keon Lassane, NC State commit, a great post pattern, really great ball placement from Peters. We're going to take another look at that here in a few minutes, but man, Peters, love the timing on that route. Boom, right there. You're going to see a lot of that in Raleigh with the Wolfpack as they try to replace some big-time playmakers coming up.
So the ball game now, North Carolina, New Jersey tied at 6. And Butler will go for 2 points here on the extra point try. The 10-yard line, the spot. And that is broken up. Malik Harvey.
Harvey read that route really well. They're going right back to Lassane along the sideline there. Ball's in a good spot, but Harvey's right there. Lassane didn't have much of a chance to get around for it. So ball's in a good spot too.
Woodrow Wilson out of Camden, New Jersey, and Butler from here in Matthews, North Carolina, tied at 6.
All right. So look, you changed from your 2-man rule to your 3-man rule.
And with almost 9 minutes gone in this championship game, the Tigers get the ball back.
They got the two tall guys, Diggs and King, on the same side to the left of the quarterback. Let's see if they don't throw down there.
There's Simmons again on the backside.
His quickness is going to give defenses problems all day. He's been doing that all day, really. I expect him to be a major part going forward here.
Pickup of about 5 or so, I guess. Maybe a little more. There's Diggs.
Great catch there.
Fadil Diggs, as you said, Adam, earlier, going to be a junior this year.
He's being recruited as a tight end, obviously, but mainly as a defensive end. Most of the schools looking at him think he's going to put on a bunch of weight in college, a lot of that good weight, and get after the passer.
Well, we saw in the semifinals he had a big interception.
Showing off that mobility, too, playing at inside linebacker.
And that time, Cardman goes to Simmons again.
Right back to him. He's going to move those chains for them all game. Butler's going to have to make some adjustments to stomp those quick flare-outs.
Like this, outside, all right?
For you.
In the middle, that's King.
And Payne almost had that one. The DB for Butler. He was right there, but those long arms from King was able to snatch that ball out of the air and really hold on to it.
You in. Go back in. Come back in. Come on.
Here's Cardman trying to get to King, and does for the score.
Same sort of route, that quick slant route, took it all the way through to the second and third holes in the defense. You can see him put Woodrow Wilson up by 6 here. They've been going for 2 all day. I wouldn't be surprised if they do that. Here's the replay. Boom, right on his hands. Another angle, right there. Cardman's on right now.
Off the 10-yard line, 2-point try, as Adam just said. And this time, it's Simmons.
A really good adjustment there. Simmons broke off his route when he got to the sideline, came back to the inside. That relationship that he's got with his quarterback, Cardman, they saw it, they knew what they were going to do, came back right for it, and got the 2-point conversion.
So now the pressure and the onus on this ball game goes back onto the Butler High School program from North Carolina. trailing now by 8 points at 14-6. See the clock moving on now. Bulldogs are in white. The Tigers of Woodrow Wilson and Camden, New Jersey in black. And again, Peters dials up Rory, who makes the catch.
The game plan is pretty simple here for Butler, using Rory to keep them on schedule, keep that ball moving, and chew up a lot of clock here too. It's important that they finish off these drives though, because the more clock they chew up and don't get that score, it plays right into Woodrow Wilson's hand.
Second down for Peters. And this is Lassane.
Good adjustment there from Peters, the quarterback. And Woodrow Wilson's doing a really good job taking away those deep routes, making sure that Butler has to throw underneath. We're not seeing a ton of explosive plays out of them. You got to credit Woodrow Wilson's length in the secondary for that.
Coach Hales and his Bulldogs trailing by 8. Thrown just beyond the reach of the intended receiver here on the near side. That was Passamuntu.
May have jinxed Woodrow Wilson there as they finally get free down the field. But Peters just misses the outstretched arms of his receiver. Simmons playing cornerback there. He's been making a lot of plays on offense. He's going to have to hydrate with that Powerade when he gets a chance to.
Hey, 1-on-1 left H, 1-on-1, regular New York.
And the backside throw that time. On here to the perimeter side, and looked like Josh Bailey, who made the clinching catch in the semifinals for Butler, comes up with his first grab here in the title game for the team from North Carolina.
Now Peters, safe play there, but if he waited half a beat more, he had his running back Jamal Worthy right down the seam. He was going to have him over the top, could have put them in a tying scenario.
Right back inside. Here's Rory, the catch.
We see this a lot out of 7-on-7 teams where they use their smaller, quicker guys to take advantage of bigger, maybe slower inside linebackers. And Fidel Diggs playing inside.
All right, look, we're going to go here. All right, we're going to go empty left, New York, B-zig, and now let's go left H. Run like a corner from over here.
New York, B-zig on 1. New York, B-zig on 1. Ready?
Fidel Diggs, you know, not the quickest guy inside. We'll see if they try to take advantage of that again.
Peters looking for Rory and broken up by Morrison.
He had it in his hands right there. We're going to see it. He read the play really well. Zone defense from Woodrow Wilson here. Boy, that would have been a big-time play with under 6 minutes left. That would have really put the team from North Carolina, Butler, in a tough position.
So the 8-point lead for the Tigers from New Jersey. 5.5 minutes to go in this Powerade 7-on-7 Invitational Championship game. Rory, the touchdown.
Rory has been the star of the game so far for Butler. He's made a ton of catches and really got that first step there. You see the explosiveness off that plant foot. Here's the quick slant from him. Peters on the money. Boom, right there. He had that step on Simmons. Not a whole lot he could do about that.
Wheel, come back across the goal line.
All right, so stop.
Play it and then come all the way across. Yeah, be ready to pull up.
68 wheel on 1. 68 wheel on 1. Ready?
Tabarro, go arrow on this. Mike, don't cross this hat. Don't cross this hat.
Can't jump from 67.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh. 67. 67.
Yeah.
Christian Peters barking out to Josh Bailey, who's at the top of your screen. Instead, he throws inside, and the catch is made, and that's Lassane again.
Big time play for him, tying this ball game. Lassane coming up big for his team. You see here on the replay, he's coming back inside, adjusts his route. Peters sees him, puts it right in a spot where only Lassane can get it. He's right there.
So tied at 14, and we go inside of 4 minutes, and let's see what Preston Brown and the Tigers from New Jersey have going here.
That was a huge drive for Butler. Like I was saying earlier in their drive, they're taking these long drives, chewing up a lot of clock, but they need to score at the end of them if that's going to be the game plan. Here we are with a tie game under 4 minutes left.
Cardman, and this is King open.
Ooh, he almost broke that. He could still be running if he had half a step more.
Brandon Masson, the linebacker, got a hand in there to stop the play.
Regular Hollywood?
Yeah, regular Hollywood. Regular Hollywood.
Inside. Inside.
Yeah.
King again. So now with the clock inside 3 minutes, what's Woodrow Wilson thinking here? The Tigers from New Jersey trying to unlock a tie game here. Clock is clearly in their favor, right?
Absolutely.
Butler's the one who's got to be fighting the clock a little.
Absolutely, but when you think about these 7-on-7 rules, if they don't convert and get this touchdown, Butler could get some points here, and you got to be really smart about the plays here. No incompletions, got to convert.
Wide open King.
Boy, that was huge, 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 huge for Woodrow Wilson. They could not afford to turn it over on downs. Instead, they get the 6 points here, and you see here with Stanley King breaking open. That DB clearly thought he had help over top, but when you've got a 6'5" wide receiver who can really jump for the ball, you're not, a safety coming over the top is just not going to cut it. You need to double team a man like that in a situation like this.
Second touchdown catch for King in a row in his many possessions here. For Woodrow Wilson from Camden, New Jersey. And now the 2-point try. And it's King again.
King with pretty much every single catch on that drive, absolutely taking over, willing his team to the lead. You got to think that Butler has a game plan coming in under 2 minutes. They've got to move the ball a little bit faster than they have on these previous drives. So go. Here's the replay. King catching that all-important conversion. Boom. Cardman and King have been on point all day, and it's paying dividends here in the championship game.
Stanley King will be a senior in Camden, New Jersey this fall. And Nick Cardman, also a rising senior for this Tiger team. Back inside, Rory, touchdown, Marquay Graves. And now the clock stops. Inside of a minute, and now back it goes.
Again, Peters had his running back, Jamal Worthy, down the seam. If he just looks there, they could get this early score.
There's another stop made.
Worthy on the catch, but boy, if he had them going down the middle, this could be a tie game coming up soon.
8-point lead for Woodrow Wilson from Camden, New Jersey, and Butler from here in Matthews, North Carolina.
That clock is rolling.
Yep.
20 seconds here. A little confusion there on the backfield.
Need a shot to the end zone here, Adam?
I think so, or at least down the sideline. Try and get out of bounds.
Peters, broken up Diggs, intended for Rory.
And if you notice, Diggs wasn't in on the offensive possession for Woodrow Wilson, trying to save that energy for this last drive, and it seems like it really helped them out. It's a turnover on downs, and that might be it here. 6 seconds left on the clock. Here's the replay. Boom, Diggs gets the hand in there. not a whole lot Rory could do about that. Diggs with those long arms was able to reach around him and knock it down.
So a rising junior for this Woodrow Wilson team. Has had an impressive game really on both sides of the ball. Made a big play on the first touchdown, and now
with that break up there, yeah, absolutely.
Stops the drive by Butler and makes it a 10-point game. Remember, they get the points for the turnover on downs.
It's going to be a tough call for MVP, him or Stanley King.
Boy, Stanley King's been outstanding, hasn't he?
He has. Just need to complete the pass to get the clock rolling, and that's the end of the game.
Yep. So Woodrow Wilson.
Hey, let's go, boy. Let's go.
And Coach Preston Brown. They're the champions of the Powerade 7-on-7 Invitational here at the Sportsplex in Matthews.
Coach, stay healthy this year. I need my money.
Good job. And Brian Hales and Butler have got a lot to be proud of too here, Adam.
They certainly do. You know, they didn't have the most talent in this tournament by any means, but they played their hearts out. They really know that offense well, and they tried to execute here in the championship game as they did leading up to it. A lot of quick passes, a lot of completions, moving the ball, and it just didn't pay off here in the championship game. Woodrow Wilson had a great game plan, making sure they didn't get those explosive plays down the field. And you can see the excitement on Woodrow Wilson's faces right now, trying to figure out how they're going to use this reward for winning the championship game.
Well, Stormy's downstairs with Coach Brown and also our Food Line MVP, Stanley King.
Yes, I'm down here with our Food Line MVP, Stanley King. Congratulations on the win. You caught 2 touchdowns over there in the end zone. What was working so effectively for you today?
I feel great. I've been balling all weekend, me and my team. So we just out here working hard. I get back to practice Monday, you know. So it feels great to win 15,000, 2 touchdowns. Fidel, Nick, everybody on the team, Buddha, Naeem, everybody. It's good.
It was a long week, but it started with 40 teams down to 1. Why were you guys the one that's going to take home the trophy today?
We worked hard. We was prepared for this, you know. So that's it. Really came out here, used all our effort, enthusiasm, you know. So we did good.
Thanks so much. Congratulations. Coach Preston Brown, first off, how'd that feel?
It felt pretty good. It's hot out here. I'm going to get a little sticky, but I mean, it was an amazing opportunity for us to be down here. You know, really excited. You know, our job to come down here was to finish as a top team. You know, a lot of times, you know, we travel around and, you know, we usually call coaches up and, you know, we try to do things like this. So it was a great thing that Powerade and all the sponsors put together here. You know, last year we didn't get an invite. But, you know, for our first year to come down here and to actually win the championship, you know, we're inner city high school, so I mean, like, these funds are going to help our program out tremendously. You know, we got a great group of guys. You know, we probably had like the least amount of guys for one team out of all the teams that came out here. So, you know, it always feels good to win on the road. You know, I'm extremely proud of these guys. You know, guys like Stanley King, who's an All-American, our quarterback Nick Carsman played lights out this weekend. You know, yesterday we went 3-4, and we let a lot of young guys get reps. But you know, we told our older guys that in order for us to get the job done, that they were going to have to fight through and play through the heat. I mean, they did an amazing job today. You know, we got the victory. So.
Well, we definitely saw the fight in that second game. The semifinal earlier today was a little bit, you guys taking over, but the second one, a lot of competition. How about the grit of your guys to finish this one out?
I mean, we got some really good coaches. You know, we coached the guys up. One of the teams that we played earlier today, they gave us our first loss, so we ended up playing them again, like in the quarterfinal, I believe. So we made some adjustments, but that semifinal game was a tough one. Some really good, stiff competition, some great guys, some great competitors from Virginia. And then, you know, once we got to the championship game, like, we knew that the only way that we wanted to finish was with a victory. So.
Well, it was very fun to watch. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, man. Camden, New Jersey, baby. We here, man. 15,000, man. Holla at
All right, Stormy, thanks. Coach Brown, congratulations to you and Woodrow Wilson, the Tigers from Camden, New Jersey. And to the victor goes the dump, the Powerade dump. And Woodrow Wilson's a winner here in Matthews, North Carolina.
I am here with Terrence Biddix to present the Powerade 7-on-7 Championship Trophy and check here to Woodrow Wilson High School. Congratulations, guys. Time to celebrate.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Hey, I just want to say on behalf of Woodrow Wilson High School in Camden, New Jersey, we made the 8-hour trip down here for one goal, one purpose. We thank Powerade and all the sponsors for inviting us, and we're happy to be here. Congratulations to my Tigers. And we got that check! Thanks a lot.
Special thanks to Dan Holmes, Senior Vice President of Marketing for Coca-Cola Consolidated, and Tournament Director Mike Newman. Great to be with Adam Friedman. Thanks to our producer Scott Snyder, our director Lonnie Dale, and our tremendous crew. Congratulations to the Tigers of Woodrow Wilson High School in Camden, New Jersey. They're the champions of the 2018 Powerade 7-on-7 Invitational. So long from Charlotte.